by the Nigerian media, the BBC and co, the Voice of America. But in the present time, no conventional media controls information. The social media is the leading controller of information and building of opinions today. The digital age has changed everything. Every individual with a smartphone can become a publisher. Every social media account can reach thousands of people. Even as we hear, very few of us in this platform watching. You don't know how far we can get. Every social media account can reach thousands of people. Every live stream can reach audience across continents. Every video can influence public opinion. This creates opportunity, but it also creates responsibility. The opportunity is that community can tell their own stories, just as we are telling our stories here on a daily basis. The responsibility is that information shared must be accurate, responsible, and credible. Every information. That is why in this platform, we don't rush on breaking news. We don't rush to be the first people to say it or first people to bring it. No. We are much focused on accuracy to present responsible information and credible information. Then after presenting this, you can take it to the bank. Everything we present here are things we can defend. I cannot present something I cannot defend. Whatever I present, I can defend it in a debate, privately or publicly. If people wish to gain international attention, international respect, and international support for any cause, credibility becomes essential. That is why in this Biafran cause, credibility is number one. At this time, when we are seeking for recognition, we are seeking for attention, credibility is very important. And credibility is built through consistency. Credibility is built through evidence. That is why most of our platforms very consistent, daily, twice, 3 times a day. And most times we use videos, evidential videos, that could give you facts and figures on what we are saying, for you to know it's not a guesswork. Credibility is built through evidence. Credibility is built through professionalism in your presentations. You must present like a professional. Allow people to express themselves and their opinion. You don't have to gag people. Give respect to audience and those who are listening. Both those who agree and those who do not agree. Everybody must not agree with you. Credibility is built through truthfulness. We must be truthful. But today, truth is dead among us. So many of us have lost the truth. Dead and buried. Credibility takes years to build, but only moments to destroy. It takes years to build credibility, but only a moment is enough for you to lose it all. This is why everyone involved in advocacy must understand the importance of responsible communication. Responsible communication. Some of us, all you know is to come online and abuse people, insult people, call people names and all that. It's a shame. You are doing that to get views. People will watch you and clap for you and say, right on. But at the end of the day, you are not just destroying people, you are destroying yourself. Because when the result is going to come, nobody's going to be there with you. Just like in this struggle. Tomorrow we are going to go back home. You never know who is going to be your neighbor tomorrow. You never know who you're going to see by the time we arrive in Biafran land, every one of us. Because of course, all of us are going to go back home. The good, the bad, and ugly. We will meet. You don't know who is going to be your next door neighbor. But you feel it is all right to insult people, to abuse people and call them names, even when you have no single evidence on what you're saying. It's all a mere hearsay. I was told, I had. Wonderful people out there. One of the most important lessons from history is that successful movements invest heavily in documentation. And we must make sure we document every single thing that is happening. Though we have been doing great, the IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have documented a lot. IPOB under Mazi Nnamdi has documented a lot. And we continue to document today. We document events. We preserve records. We collect evidence. We maintain archives. We record testimonies. We preserve history. Why? Because documentation protects truths. That is why you see, for all the lie they are telling against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, once I go online, I take only one video. It will destroy all the lies. Every accusation of against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, all it takes is for you to pay attention to, including the video that they played in the court. The only thing it takes for you to play the content of that from the beginning to the last, you understand the context under which he made every single comment he made there. So they will just go and cut out one portion and use it for their program blackmail. Because we have all the information in our archive and the videos, we just release the original video, the full context of the video, and then the case is dead. Without documentation, narrative become vulnerable to distortion. Without documentation, future generation inherits confusion. Future generation, they are going to inherit confusion if we are not documenting. I thank you for coming by documenting. Just like the confusion that Gowon is creating. If not that our eternal leader left more than enough information, more than enough documents, Gowon would have distorted this history today. Nigeria would have used Gowon, the British would have used Gowon to distort history. But our eternal leader, Din Odumegwu, did a lot of documentation. And that is why today we are not confused. We are not moved. We are not troubled. They can say anything they want to say. They can conduct any interview. They can create any movie they want or whatever documentary. We have the truth in our archives. We have the full details on video, on writing. Without documentation, misinformation fills the vacuum. But because we have our documents, their misinformation cannot fly. Documentation is one of the strongest tools available to any community seeking recognition and understanding. That is why preserving history matters. That is why recording experience matters. That is why presenting evidence matters. That is why facts matters. Wonderful people of Biafra. Let us also discuss the importance of international engagements. We cannot do it alone. In today's interconnected world, no movement exists in isolation. Not even one. People around the world are paying attention to every single thing that is happening around them. Research are paying attention. Journalists are paying attention. Researchers across the world are paying attention to what is going on. Human rights organizations are paying attention. Even though they are slow to act, but I bet you they are paying attention to the plight of the Biafrans and everything that is happening. The atrocities of the Janjaweed, which they have a full loaded record. But somehow, for the personal interest and their gains, we know that interest is always first before justice. Academic institutions are paying attention. Policymakers are paying attention. Just like we see the case of Nigeria today, the Christian genocide, I thank Chukwu Okikabia that Donald Trump have already almost concluded the issue of Iran. And in a short while, I know Nigeria is going to be the next door. Nigeria is going to be the next door. And we are praying and praying so hard that Chukwu Okikabia should intervene and let the United States speak that word. Speak that word. Allow people go their separate ways. Let those who want to have their caliphate have their caliphate, have their Islamic state. And let those who want to have a secular state have their secular state and be on their own. That's all we need. We don't need any war. We don't need any military intervention. No. Speak that word. Let the people protect and defend themselves. The challenge is ensuring that conversation are conducted in ways that encourage understanding rather than polarization. International audience respond positively to evidence-based arguments. You see why it is important in everything we do? We make sure we have evidence. Back up all our information with strong evidence. They respond positively to professionalism. They respond positively to factual presentation. They respond positively to credible source. The international community responds positively to credible source. That is why effective communication remains one of the most important responsibilities of modern advocacy. Most of this message is meant for those who are in the front line of preaching the gospel of Biafra. You can call yourself a content creator or whatever you claim to be. You must take responsibility in everything you are doing. My brothers and sisters, every generation faces its own challenges. Some face economic challenges. Others face political challenges. The generation faces an information challenges. This generation faces an information challenge. The information challenge requires discipline. It requires patience. It requires organization. It requires education. It requires strategic thinking. It requires understanding how narratives are formed and how public opinions evolve. Winning the information battle does not even happen overnight. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens through consistency, through credibility, through professionalism, through persistence, through truth. And truth requires commitments. Wherever you are watching this program from, as we conclude today's discussion, I want to leave you with these several important thoughts. Let these thoughts follow you wherever you go. First, understand the power of narratives. Understand the power of narratives. If you understand the power of narratives, you will not be joking with your media handle. You will not be playing around in the cause of Biafra. Just like Nigeria is creating different kinds of narratives using their media. They are trying to cleanse the Fulanis of the atrocities by all means. And meanwhile, they try to paint the Biafrans evil. That is why anytime they report about insecurity in Biafra land, they will bring out people, unconfirmed people, individuals, without a name, and they will bring out arms and ammunition in the name of recovery. But in the north, where there are terrorists actively working, each time they make an arrest in the north, they will not show you the weapons captured. They will not even show you the people arrested. They will show you their back, or they will just write. But if it's in the southeast, they will bring a trailload of AK-47 and tell you that this is what they recovered. They will bring bullets and tell you that this is what they recovered. They will show you something, and that is a kind of creating narrative and perspectives against us. That is when we see those lines, we respond. Like when they come to tell you that ESN camp busted. ESN has no camp anywhere. We have nothing like ESN camp in Biafra today. ESN have been dissolved long before now. All we have in Biafra today is the Liberation Army. And they are safe and sound where they are. Very safe and sound. But in order for their narrative to sell, to make people believe that our land is insecure, and to remove the responsibility from the Fulanis who are taking the life of the innocent people, they will paint that picture. Second, understand the importance of facts. Always use facts to fight these liars, these blackmailers. Third, understand the value of responsible communication. We must understand the value of responsible communication. Understand the importance of documentation. Understand the credibility. That credibility is one of the most valuable assets any movement can possess. Credibility. One of the most valuable assets any movement can possess. Most importantly, remember that information is powerful. Everything we spoke about today is centered on information. And every one of us in the media today, every one of us as Biafra, we are part of the media department. Every one of us. It's not, including you that's on the comment section that is helping to share this video. Every one of us, we are part of the media. Because without you, we cannot get to the people we're supposed to get to. Without you sharing, we can't reach the people we're supposed to reach. When you share to one person, the person you share to will share to someone else. Before you know it, thousands of people get the information. That is how it works. So you are part of the media. Information is powerful. Information is powerful. That is why you must share this video as you come across it to educate our people. How information is communicated can influence public understanding for generations. That is why we break things down and we challenge wrong narratives when they come, to make sure that people do not misunderstand what we are here to do. Therefore, let's us commit ourselves to learning, educating, documenting, communicating responsibly, and engaging constructively. with the world. This is what we are supposed to be doing today on our various platforms. Whether it is only one person that you have in your platform or two people, whether it is only three people, whether it is only you and your family, let us commit ourselves to learning, educating, documenting, communicating responsibly, and engaging constructively with the world. We must not stop engaging. We will continue to engage, no matter how difficult it is. Let us commit ourselves to facts over rumors. Pay more attention to facts over rumors. Evidence covers speculations. We need to focus more on evidence over speculations. Don't just speculate. They said, oh, they said, I had. He said, I had that. They said that. If you can lay your hand on the evidence, pursue the evidence, chase it, will get the evidence, and show the world the evidence. Picture, on audio, on video. Let there be an evidence to support the information you are passing. Dialogue over hostility. That we have always embraced. Understanding over misunderstanding. Because in the end, lasting influence comes not from loudest voice, but from the most credible voice. Wherever you are joining, we must continue to pay attention to what is required. And finally, I want us to listen to this very video. This will equally help you to understand what we mean by being
Biafrans.
They were ready to die for Biafra.
Exactly.
Because if you read here that declaration, even while reading it, I was just charging up. But at some point, I said, calm down.
Yeah.
You are a researcher.
Yes.
Yeah. Don't find yourself in this immoral spirit. He says in this article that Biafran revolution terrifies the reactionary countries who are backed by the imperialist countries of the West that mold the foreign and international policies of these reactionary governments. Is that where we are at the moment? Remember, Donald Trump has come. Why are some rejoicing about the coming of Donald Trump? Will it be in the favor of Igbo people?
Well, like I've said, the whole thing is shrouded in mysteries, and we cannot say we have a monocausal reason or have a monocausal answer. It is a multidimensional and multifaceted. Because this same United States of America didn't support the so-called Biafra Christian during the Civil War. The support they got from the U.S. was just on a charity basis from the churches and individuals. But from the United States government, they didn't have the backing. United States backed briefing. And these things are based on their ideology, based on their national interests. Now, back to Nigeria. Why the sudden, support for the Christians? It's not just about Christians. There are a lot of reasons for me. Even the economic reason, ideological reason, and military reason, security reason, because Nigeria is becoming, as I'm concerned, home for terrorists. And all of these things. So it's not just about the Christian whatever.
So America is fighting for its own interests.
Own interests. Because also America is also watching the international dynamics. Chinese are taking over Africa, West Africa. France, as a matter of fact, France is losing some states in West Africa, and also gaining some states in West Africa.
He has gained Nigeria.
He has gained Nigeria. And that is really paradoxically and ironically, because we are not colonized by France. But today they use Nigeria, they quell the coup that are in Benin, courtesy of Tinubu. And the man in Burkina Faso said that the plane they capture has a lot of mechanism or a lot of gadgets placed in that airplane to carry out a surveillance of their nation and all of those stuff. their security apparatus and some other things. So it's really deep. So some are really happy and some are not happy. Some Northerners are not happy. And so these are the issue of ethnicity and
some Igbos are happy. They are telling Trump, go ahead.
And they are most Igbo, let me put it this way, are happy. And because they feel that maybe this Nigeria has been unfair to them. For example, look at their song, Kept in Sokoto Prison. Whereas look at Gumi saying all sort of things, snapping picture with terrorists and all of those stuffs. A lot of imams saying all kinds of provocative manners, declaring, even saying that they would declare, or even if they declared Arewa and all of those stuffs. They are unhurt. But terrorists are being integrated into Nigeria's security architecture. Terrorists are brandishing weapons and have collaboration with the government. Before they carry out the attack, our military will be withdrawn. So these are the things the Igbo people are looking. Igbo people have suffered so much. I don't know. During the Civil War, the way it was prosecuted, during the 1966 pogrom, the way it was done all over Nigeria, even expatriate people were like, wow, what kind of thing is this? Are these people are they not part of the union and all of those stuffs? The way people were killed, brutally killed and all of those stuffs, and then going to the Civil War, the way it was carried out. Over 3 million people from the defunct Biafra were killed, children were killed and all of those stuffs, aged were killed, the blockade and all of those stuffs. After the Civil War too, even the issue of properties were seized, and even the issue of the 20 pounds, all of those stuffs, the assets were seized, the indigenization policy, they couldn't buy. And since then, Igbo man has not become president. So these are the things that are making them feel angry. And not just that. When it comes to national assets or resources, one Nigeria. But if there's any misunderstanding on verbal exchange, go back to your region, all of those stuffs. So you see all of this whole thing. The election during the past election, we're also watching how Tinubu comported himself and the kind of things he said, MCO, Olomo, and all of this whole thing. So these things make them feel bad. For example, every other region, South has 6 states, Northwest 7, North Central 6, Southwest 6. And they have been having 5 states. These are the issues deliberately designed to keep them, to break them down. I told you that this thing started even from the British. The people of Anioma, the Ekumeku, fought them for like up to 30 years, fought British to stand still.
About women fought them?
Yeah, about women fought them, 29. Indirect rule didn't work in Southeast at all. It worked perfectly in the North, partially in the West. So all of this whole thing, and so after the Second World War, 1945, the mining of coal because British started mining coal in Enugu, and they were taking it to their own country and all of those stuff to recover from the losses they had during the Second World War. And they challenged them too. The Igbo people challenged them. So they saw these Igbo people as very stubborn. They have the gut and all of those stuff. They have independent mind. They will not align. And if they had allowed Biafra to stand, or if they had handed over the power to the Igbo people, I'm telling you, all this issue of neo-colonialism would have been dealt with. And if that is dealt in Nigeria, so to speak, other African countries will also catch the fire.
So how will Trump bombing
the
help them?
Well, they just feel that, it might not really, some believe that Trump will also support the agitation.
For Biafra?
For Biafra.
Okay.
They feel that, of course, Trump, Israel has given support to Somaliland and all of this whole thing. And not forget, we have a good number of Igbo people in the US military. After the Civil War, they moved to the US. We have a lot of them. So this will also lay complaint and this era of social media information and all of those stuff. And also Nigeria is becoming like, in fact, we've seen a lot of documents where Nigeria is a signatory to Islamic and Arab and all of this whole thing. So they feel angered, all of the way Nigeria is handled. In fairness to them, their sons and daughters have not been in that seat. So Nigeria has been managed for these years, majorly by the Hausa Fulani and partly Yoruba. So they feel that anybody will come to rescue them. It's a matter of frustration. It's more of frustration, and they're thinking, okay, there could be hope.
You just hide this is their own opinion on the media. That is what we are talking about, the media report and media narrative. They have created their own narrative or whatever they think. But those who will tell the true story is those of us that are involved. We know what we feel and we know what is going on. And only us can tell our stories. Don't allow anybody to tell your story. So I appreciate everyone that has been with us on today's program, wherever you are watching from. Thank you for being part of the program. Like and share to other platforms. And see you again later in the evening by the grace of God. Thank you so much and stay safe.
The very oldest language on the face of this earth. Chico Kikabia Mapuni, Chineke, and Son of the Isala, Nina, Goza, Hanso, Yanina, Jama, and Yanaga Farusi, Oponana, all the and then so
but you know what? They would like you to believe that someone is the cause of it. No. I am the solution, and the only way they can get to you is by kicking me out, which is not possible. I have come. Look what you do. After I am done with Nigeria, Biafra will be free and enjoy freedom. Biafra will know the importance of freedom.